Hey guys, welcome along to a brand new season of Rural New Zealand. I'm your host, Gordon Findlater. On tonight's show, we meet a 50-50 share milker who's just learnt how to run the books. One young man shows us how he's funding his tertiary education, and we go speed shearing. But first up tonight, imagine learning training for life on the farm at high school. Geraldine High School is one school providing opportunities for the next generation. We went to see what the recipe for success is at the Primary Industries Academy.
It's an amazing advantage for the students because it's a program that's been geared up to work towards industry pathways, which is exactly what we want, and that's what we want. And with all our students, they have a direction. It's a big part of it, that they find a passion, and this is an amazing opportunity that they get to work out all the different pathways that exist in primary industries, which is a fairly large part of our country's businesses, really.
And as we could see, one of the major selling points of the course to students is its out and about nature, not being confined to four walls.
It's taking practical stuff but then also contextualising it into the classroom. So these students who are doing this course would, in their English and Maths, be trying to do standards that actually will have relevancy for them when they move into this or into this pathway. So there's been a huge shift in education looking at that to make sure that it's contextual learning. Which means that the students really do get the right learning that they need for what pathway they decide to move on.
If someone's really keen on this, agriculture, horticulture side of things, maybe previously to that, struggling with things like maths and English, does that help to spark that stuff in the classroom?
That's right on. You've hit it on the head there. Really, that is what happens, and that's what we want for all our students, particularly in the senior school, because if they develop a pathway and a passion, it's natural that you get engagement. So if they're really passionate about this and they love it, then the engagement will happen in maths and English and commerce or whatever it is that they're actually doing. That will help them in this pathway for the future. So yes, that's what we want for all of them. That's what the vocational pathways were set up to do, that to create a greater engagement into industry and business.
The brains behind the Geraldine operation is Sarah Foley, who we found working with students on the quad bike, where the school has been setting some pretty impressive times on the tyre change.
The quad bike tyre change is working against the clock, but working as a team and encouraging each other. And the fastest time is 1:07, so that's pretty sharp. The quad bikes and the motorbikers are reiterating what they are learning on their courses at the moment, and practice fencing as well. It's all good on-farm skills for when they head out in placement.
I wasn't going to try and match the students' record time on the tyre change. However, I thought I'd try my hand at some fencing. But as it turns out, my enthusiasm unfortunately wasn't matched with technique. Even on self-assessment, I think this effort will be getting a not achieved. I think there might be a few livestock escaping the paddock this afternoon. You guys must have better strength than me.
Just technique.
Yeah, just the way you do it.
There you go. That's how you make a good stable fence, rural New Zealand style. I think you guys will be taking the jobs, not me. And it's the hands-on nature of the training that I failed at the kids love the most.
Good work.
Thank you.
It was more like just getting out there and being able to actually do it, like in person, and that's the best thing. Like, you can sit in the classroom all day and learn, but you're not actually practically doing it. With this, you actually can, and it's great fun.
From stuff you've been doing so far this year, what's been the favourite sort of part of the primary industry stuff?
What was your favourite thing?
We've had a chainsaw course.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a couple of weekends ago, 2-day course.
I learned a fair bit about the chainsaw and it was pretty cool. Yeah.
So we're just sort of organising ourselves and getting ready for the challenge we have ahead, really.
The T-nag, yeah.
I hear you guys are pretty quick at changing tyres on the quad.
Oh yeah, these fellas over there just got 1:16 or something.
Yeah, they beat us, but that's okay.
45.
Are you guys the school to beat? I mean, how does that inter-school stuff work?
Well, last year we went to Oamaru
for the boys' school over there. But our class was so good. We flew through everything and we knew everything. It was too easy for us, so we're holding our own here and we're going to make it to suit everyone's ability, not just one school's.
There's a bit of everything in it, so
yeah,
should be great fun. Yeah.
What are you guys looking to get out of this? I mean, you got any plans going forth on what you'd like to get into?
Lots of students get a full-time job out of work placement, or they get offered it, so that's pretty good. And we get training through that for free. So I think that's the best part for me, being free training and on-farm training at the same time. It's good.
Going forward, is there anything you're looking to specialise in?
Definitely sheep and beef, stock manager or something. Seems pretty cool.
And by the time these guys have finished up school, they'll be fine-tuned to step into the rural sector.
Well, the course has been going for 4 years and we're building on our reputation. So all my Year 12 are on farm, in placement, which has been amazing to get such good farmers so easily. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but we're becoming recognised within the community and within the South Canterbury area and a wee bit further apart. So it's having this course on your CV is certainly a step ahead, and of course that they've got all the tractors, quads, fencing, chainsaw skills that farmers put their own workers through. So you're actually several steps up the rung of the employment ladder when you apply for a job if you've done my course.
How many kids are on the course this year, and how does the funding work for that?
So we're funded for 20 and we have 23. And so I get separate funding through Youth Guarantees Pathways, which I'm part of the Trades Academy. So there's, I think it's about 35 schools nationwide with a really big waiting list to get in to have these sorts of courses running. And so I get a separate budget which allows us to do all these things.
What's the general reaction from kids that get into the Primary Industries Academy?
I have a waiting list and I have to turn people away, to be honest. So we're really popular. There's a massive amount of things that the students have to do to get into the course. So a written application, an interview with their parents and industry representatives, and then once they're in, that doesn't mean that they're in forever. They have to earn it. They've got to give up weekends and lunchtimes and after school. So what we do at school is only a tiny fraction of the actual commitment that's required to do well in the course.
And what's the success rate?
Oh, pretty good. Almost 100% get the national certificate and the NCA as well. And it's all quality assured, so gathering evidence and being able to guarantee that the student can actually do what the piece of paper says they can do.
And just before we left, we found Sarah's side project, which also doubles as the horticulture side of her students' training.
Oh, the garden's cool. It's my get-rich-quick scheme. So basically it's growing plants from seed and cuttings, the whole seed to plate type idea, and we sell what we grow, or students take it home. We supply plants to local groups, incredible edible rest homes, schools, pretty much whoever asks for something, and then we sell some things which pays for the sherrits and the other extras that we do. So it's again all about learning that you can do this at home, provide food for the table and things like that, but you can do it on a grand scale as a wee sideline for a business if you wanted to as well.
Yeah, just slightly embarrassing when a couple of 15-year-olds can put up a better fence than you. Anyway, stay with us after the break and we'll meet an 18-year-old contractor who's mixing work with studies. Welcome back. Well, in Prebleton, we met a young man who's got his head very much screwed on. Jack Owen was brought up in South Canterbury, and after getting a taste for life on the farm, he got his first baler at just 15. Since then, he's grown his own contracting operation working on local lifestyle blocks, and now at 18, he's mixing a full-on work schedule with study at Lincoln University. When did you see the gap in the market to do what you're doing at the moment?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I've always kept an eye on the bigger contractors and sort of saw that they weren't too keen on the lifestyle blocks and saw a bit of an opening there, so I sort of took it, yeah.
Have you always, wanted to get into that line?
Yeah, well, I've always been sort of fascinated by machinery and gear and all that sort of stuff, so I've always kept an eye on the bigger guys, and obviously can't really go straight into that market, so you've got to start somewhere, and this was sort of the ideal sort of opening for me.
It sounds like you're quite busy. I mean, you're getting a lot of phone calls and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. No, the phone never stops, so there's plenty of work, and it's always busy, so there's never any shortage of work, which is a good thing.
Now, by the sounds of it, you've started small and then building up. What can you tell us about this baler that you're working with at the moment?
Oh, this is a pretty grunty baler, really. It's getting on a bit now, but like it's sort of top of the line, pretty high capacity, and everything's hydraulic. But it's probably done its last season with us. I think we're going to get a new baler for next season, but like nothing wrong with it. It's got a real high output, which is what we need when we're contracting. So,
obviously, you're saying a lot of the bigger boys go for the big round bales.
Yeah.
I mean, where is that market for what we traditionally know as the sort of the old oblong shaped hay bale?
I guess just the lifestyles, because they don't have the big machinery to carry them around, so they can just chuck a bale and feed it for the stock in the winter, and they don't make a mess. And also like a lot of straw for gardens and whatnot. It's just the convenience of them really is the main thing.
Tell us how old you were when you first started getting into contracting.
I got my first baler when I was 15 and just had it on the old man's tractor and did a few neighbours and stuff. So that sort of got me going and got a bit of cash, and then slowly just upgraded gear and just ticking away pretty nicely really.
Is it a case of word of mouth, or where do you get most of your business?
I do a bit of advertising in the local paper and stuff, and a lot of you'd be amazed at the word of mouth, like how people find out about it. It's just incredible.
You get the phone call every summer.
Yeah, every year you get the phone call. You just drop in and say, what paddock are we doing this year, sort of thing. And so that's good. I guess from about November to about now, it's like flat out, and then I've got a wee direct drill, so do a bit of regrassing and a bit of cultivation and a bit of topping and stuff, which keeps me ticking away through the rest of the year. But the busy period's this summer.
You've just started out Lincoln Uni. What are you doing out there?
Yeah, I'm doing an ag com out there, so that's pretty full on as well. But hopefully that'll help me in the future years with whatever the business develops, and it's all good. So it fits the uni year fits in quite nicely really, because it starts about now just as the season finishes, and the uni year finishes as the hay season starting. So it works in pretty good.
Is the ultimate goal to wind up on your own farm?
Oh yeah,
are you enjoying the contracting side?
Oh, you're definitely enjoying the contracting side for now, but like it's very stressful, and obviously the ultimate goal would be to have my own farm one day. But I know a lot of guys that have done a bit of contracting to get into a farm, so hopefully one day that'll happen. But contracting for now is doing me pretty fine. So.
This tractor behind us, when did you buy that?
That was after my first season. It's a bit dirty at the moment actually, but that's a 90 horsepower New Holland, so it's ideal. It's not too big for the lifestyle blocks, but still got the nice bells and whistles. So that's a nice tractor for us.
So a year or so as a teenager, getting into the contracting side of things, just on some lifestyle blocks, and you've got yourself a nice new purchase. I mean, it sounds like we're all in the wrong industry.
Oh yeah, but you wouldn't say that when you're climbing into this thing in a 30-degree day, unblocking it or something like that. Yeah, it's good when you're going good, but there's always breakdowns and the phone's ringing and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's all good. So,
what's the most challenging aspect of this work?
The weather. Just trying to get the weather right, and dealing with people that probably don't know a hell of a lot about farming and think they do sometimes and stuff like that, but it's all part of it. But the weather's probably the hardest, like just picking windows, and when you've got a lot of people ringing you, trying to get them in order and keep them all happy and get it all done before it rains. And
do you get a few people that, when you turn up, you might not have met them for a first time, and say, hey, when you started, you're only 14, you're just a teenager.
Yeah, they give you a few sideways looks, but it's a bit of, sort of a bit of a crowd pleaser when you show up and you're so young. They love it, but you always get paid real fast because they think, you're young kids starting out, which it's got its positives. A lot of the time they're pretty impressed.
One man with a big future ahead of him, that's for sure. Well, last week we travelled to just outside of Ashburton to meet Sarah Milne, who's a 50-50 share milker in partnership with her husband Hamish. Sarah's story is an interesting one, converting to dairy after growing up on a sheep and beef farm in central Otago. Now running a business, Sarah recently completed the Agribusiness Diploma through Primary ITO.
We started sheep and beef farming and leased a farm at Pleasant Point, and about that time the sheep prices plummeted and we had 4 children and realised that we needed to do something else to generate a bit more of an income to provide the opportunities for them.
When did you decide, you know, that you obviously needed a bit of training to get into the financial side of things.
Yeah, so we were brought into the dairying by a wonderful couple, Joe and Trevor Johnson, and we went and worked there for 2 years. Then went on to lower order share milk in Fairley. At that stage we looked at primary ITO training to educate our staff, and thought that maybe I could get involved and do something to help our business as well.
Sarah found the hunger to continue her studies and completed the full diploma.
Just wanted to, gain some knowledge on our financial business and how I could help out with that. It was through good tutors and realising that without the diploma we weren't going to progress through the dairy industry.
Obviously you've had the passion for farming from the get-go, but once you've got deeper into things, I mean, how big have you found that that admin side is required in this industry? Oh,
it's absolutely essential, and just in dealing with accountants, bank managers, being able to produce a budget and work within the budget, and analyse your own business and tighten up where you can and whatnot. It's been great. It's really good.
How does that dynamic with you and Hamish working on the farms together?
It's good. We have our moments, both in the shed at the minute, so that certainly has its moments, but yeah, he tends to leave the banking side of things alone and gets on with running the farm. So. Yeah.
Previous to this, it sounds like you guys were running a pretty big operation down in Fairley, is that right?
Yeah, mainly Hamish. I just had a wee bit to do with the staff side of things and timesheets and that side of things, and doing the diploma certainly opened my eyes up to how it should be done and done properly.
Bit of travel in between here or Fairley to Timaru?
Yeah, just once a week, night courses, so Hamish was at home with the 4 kids, which didn't always work very well, but we got there, we got through it, and yeah, just so pleased we hung in there and did it.
You talked about tutors and how valuable is having good tuition.
Yeah, absolutely, and Brent Love, he sort of coaxed me through it and twisted my arm when it needed twisted, and yeah, he's been brilliant. So without those tutors and things giving you the help that you need, it would be pretty tough.
Was it daunting at all going back to study later on in life?
It never really felt like I was studying. It was something that I enjoyed doing and needed to do really to grow our business. So it didn't actually feel like I was going back to school. So we're 50-50 share milking, so our business and his farm pretty much. So we own the cows and the business, and we use the farm owner's farm to do it. We're 139 hectares and we milk 540 cows. We lease a block in Toach Valley for the runoff for the young stock, and works well.
Having landed the dream job, Sarah and Hamish's next goal is to now go all in and run the operation on their own land.
Certainly the last couple of years with the payout sort of decrease hasn't helped and probably put us back a few years, but eventually we will get there and we'll hang in there. Hamish is pretty hands-on with the day-to-day running of the farm and make sure that all ticks over, so it's nice to be able to have some input into it.
How far off do you think you are from the end goal, the ultimate goal of your own farm?
50 would be nice. Another 10 years would be good. If sooner would be awesome, but who knows? Who knows where the dairy industry's going, really.
Stay with us. After the break, we meet some shearers with a need for speed. Welcome back to the show. Well, while we were down in Geraldine recently, we happened to stumble across one of the town's pinnacle events. The country's top shearers had assembled in town for the annual Geraldine Speed Shears held at the Village Inn. Check it out. Yes, I was well and truly out of my element, but this year's Geraldine Speed Shears had attracted a good crowd.
There's some very hot competition. It's the biggest event of the biggest entries in the Open that we've ever had, and any one of them could do it. So it's not just speed, they've got to have a quality as well. We have world record holders, we have had world champions, and a really good draw from all around New Zealand. Like Dave Fagan won it last year just before he retired, so it's pretty good.
One of this year's draw cards was legendary shearer Rod Sutton, who has held a number of world records over the years.
The latest one's a U record, so sure 7:21 there in 9 hours, and my mate Nigel Brown and myself, we did 1600 something on lambs, but that was a while ago, so they're the two that haven't been broken yet. We have 2 rounds, and they'll just take the 4 fastest out of the heats. So you might get beaten by your mate, but you still might get in because your time is enough to get through. And then after that, it's the same again. In the top 4, it's just the 2 fastest go through, and in the final, it's a knockout. But in the semis and the Open tonight, we're going to share 2 sheep, one after the other, in the semis and the final. So that'll be really exciting for the crowd.
What's the general environment like from the crowd while you're up there?
Oh, they love it, especially having 2 stands like this. Like it's, you might not be even the next grade. They're not the fastest shearers. The next Open's the fastest, but just competing against someone the crowd loves seeing a race. So that's you'll see in a few more minutes the crowd get right behind it. It's our end of our main share, so it's, everyone sort of wants to have a go, seeing how good they are for the end of the season, and it's the end for the competitions as well. A lot of shearers from around the South Island will turn up here, and it's just a good night really. The crowd get into it, and yeah, well, it's a nice town to be in.
A lot of local effort goes into the event, with even the sheep on the night being kept in prime condition before being let loose on by the competitors.
We buy them from Mount Dasher Station down in Oamaru, off Conrad and Tanya Sim, every year, and we take them home and look after them for a month or 6 weeks, and then today, like Rod Sutton comes out and prepares them all for this event, and he started about 8 o'clock this morning and finished about 3 o'clock this afternoon, so he's put a big effort into all this.
And while the Open class may be the draw card, there was still plenty of competition between the up-and-comers in the junior and intermediate events.
Yeah, got a good time and a green light, and there's a few good competitors up there. It's pretty good.
What's the adrenaline rush like up there?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty nerve-wracking. It shakes and that when it's up there. Competition's still pretty high, man. Like, it's $600 for first place, and like, but the Open guys like that, yeah, they're guns, like they're good, fast shearers. Yeah, so that'll be good to watch actually. Yeah.
And it's fair to say that as the night went on, the enjoyment level was well and truly raised for all involved.
Oh, it's a bloody good night.
The locals, I think it's all a local event, so it brings a lot of people here, and then you catch up with friends and family events kind of thing, so. And cute guys is what most girls come here for. Yeah.
Just such amazing speed. It's unbelievable.
It's a true New Zealand cultural experience.
Have you been before?
Yes, I have. But my new friend from Scotland has not.
No. Scottish girl here in Kiwi, what do you make of the events tonight?
It's great fun. I kind of like it. Yeah, it's that different.
A very, very fun night out, that's for sure. Well guys, that's our first episode for the season, done and dusted. Remember to like us on Facebook, just search Rural NZ. Well, make sure you tune in next week where we're at the Huranui races. We went down to the Mayfield show and we meet a man who's growing a lot of lettuce. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, I'm Gordon Findlater. Have a great night.